This industrial company paid us $10,000 to stripe a gravel parking lot. In today's video, I'm going to discuss how we landed this job, how we tried to tell them we couldn't do this job, and ultimately how we still ended up doing this job. Before we get into that, if you want to learn how we landed this $10,000 job off of just $5 in ad spend and also multiple other $10, $20, and even $30,000 jobs on little to no ad spend, check out the first link in the comment section and the description. That'll be a link to our brand new Local Domination 2 course where we're going to walk you through exactly how to set up and optimize your Google ads so that you are able to land monster jobs just like these over your local competitors. Now, this job came in off of a Google ad. Typically, whenever we receive phone calls from big industrial jobs or any industrial type of job, we get very excited due to the fact that, for one, our ads are working as they should, and ultimately, this is where we want our business to be because the industrial world is the place to be for especially small local businesses because that is where we are able to push our business and make big money in a short amount of time. Now, one thing that we are sure to do when we get a lead in from one of these jobs is to be sure that we don't get overly excited whenever it comes to us actually meeting with the client. We want to show up and make it sound like we do this work with industrial companies all the time, that we know what we're doing. We want to maintain professionalism and not give a fat kid in a candy store type of vibe to the customer when walking out the job with them. Now, there is a lot that goes into actually landing these jobs, all of the rules, regulations, as well as paperwork that is required whenever it comes to these types of jobs can make them very challenging and stressful for you and your company. Not only that, but when you do land these jobs and get the go-ahead on one of these jobs, you're stressing over the fact that you might mess something up or do something wrong and ruin your chances at getting another call from this company or any other industrial company. That's our ultimate goal, is to impress these types of customers so that we are able to stay fresh in their mind to receive another phone call in the near future after we finish up that initial job that we got the call on. Now, that being said, there is a bigger opportunity per job when it comes to these types of jobs because of all the rules and regulations. So you definitely don't want to cut yourself short whenever you're bidding one of these types of industrial jobs. They want the job done safe most of all. They want it done as soon as possible most of the time, and they want it done in a timely manner, being that a lot of the times it's for an audit or some type of issue that has to do with safety or is causing safety hazards within their facility. So this call came into my partner Justin. I rode by to meet with the company to take a look at the job. After I left, I called Justin back and was unsure how we were actually going to be able to tackle this project. I told him that they were looking to stripe just over 800 yellow lines on a gravel parking lot. I told him that the paint was most likely not going to stick for very long, and also when rolling over the gravel with the machine, it would be too bumpy and the lines would not look good at all. So I didn't want to put this job over our head, and at the end of the day, the company not end up being happy with our work. Now, I wasn't too worried about the bumpy part, knowing that we could find a way around that. I was more worried about the paint not sticking because it was a lot of dirt that we would be striping on. Most of the parking lot didn't have good gravel to stripe on. I knew that the first rain that came through, the lines would just wash away and wouldn't be able to be seen. So after talking it over with Justin and Kale, we just agreed that we were going to go ahead and count this one as a loss and not take on the job, being that we didn't want to be held liable for the paint not sticking and also not be responsible for coming back after the first rain and doing it all over again. I gave it 2 or 3 days before contacting the guy back. After the third day of not giving the company an answer, I received a call from them, and I basically told him, look, we aren't going to be able to handle this job, being that we don't stock oil-based paint at the shop and we aren't able to source it at the moment from any local distributors. I said oil-based paint will most likely still wash away fairly easy as well, but ultimately latex will have more of a chance at washing away much faster, and we don't want to agree to a job that we aren't able to deliver satisfaction on to y'all. So he told me on the phone, we aren't worried about that, we just need it done. So get what paint you can and come do it. So I verified over the phone with him that they were okay with us putting down a latex paint, and he said yes, as long as it's yellow. We don't intend for it to last very long anyway. We just need it for when we start this turnaround that we have coming up so that people get the idea of how and where to park. It's very hard to turn down a $10,000 job that will take about 2.5 days. So after he told me that over the phone, still nervous and stressing, I said, okay, now we have to figure out how we're going to do this. So I called Justin back and I told him that we were going to move forward with the job, that we were just going to go and do it to the best of our ability. I built an 18-foot plywood skid with hinges to fold it up so we were able to roll the striping machine on it in the beginning when we started, where it was real bumpy and they had more gravel than not. Later we were able to roll without it, as you can see in this footage, due to more dirt than gravel, and it was less bumpy. So we were able to finish the job in the timeline they gave us. They gave us 4 days from the beginning. We were able to stripe just over 800 lines on gravel in just over 2 days. They were excited and satisfied with the job. Also, they said that they would most likely have this done on a reoccurring basis throughout the turnaround. We overcame our nervousness and we were able to deliver a good product and service at the end of the day on a job that we initially tried to turn down. Don't ever doubt your ability to accomplish something, but at the same time, be mindful at whether whether or not this job is going to leave a bad taste in the customer's mouth about your company or yourself. If he wouldn't have said that he didn't care about it sticking, then we never would have done this job. Even after he said that, we still made up a terms and agreement page for them to sign on @IQ. You can also do this for your business as well for free. For more information on how you can type up these agreements, send invoices to customers, send estimates to customers, along with automated messages and emails, check out the second link in the comment section and the description to @IQ. Without that being signed, we also probably wouldn't have done this job for the simple fact that it could come back on us later on if the paint were to wash away sooner than they were hoping it would. Be sure to protect yourself and your business. So I'm hoping they will be calling us back for some reoccurring work. I'm not sure how long these lines actually lasted. We protected ourselves throughout the process with the terms and agreement. These jobs do take a long time to pay out though. We did this job about 3 months ago and just recently received payment a couple of weeks ago. It is nice to know that you're waiting on a $10,000 check, but at the same time, you can get very impatient knowing that you are waiting on that $10 or $20 or $30,000 check. So with these jobs, make sure you're patient. Have your ducks in a row as far as your coverage and terms to cover you and your business. And until next time, my name is Jacob, and as always, y'all stay happy, humble, and money hungry. Peace.